What's going on, guys? Um, Welcome to another live stream session with your boy Phrankleen. If you're watching these as a playback or you're watching me for the first time, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. If you like what I'm about, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's see who is online. Let's see who is online. Let's see who is online. Right. Let's see who's online. What's going on, man? If you can hear me, you can see me, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit that like button. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Give us a thumb button, right? So, welcome to Storytime. Jules, Almaty, and everybody involved. Hit the thumb button, all right? The A-Gay Show. Favor. I'm good. I'm all right, thanks. Right. Leslie, what's up? What's up? House of Coffee, what's up, my people? The loyal people, man. Give us the like button if you can hear me. All right? I like your hoodie. Yeah, it's the Phrankleen merch. Can you see that? It's my merch. Phrankleen. There's a link in the description or look beneath this video. Go and buy my merch. I keep asking you people to buy my merch. But some of you people are like, you're hiding that COVID money from Phrankleen. I'm joking. If you feel like it, look beneath the video. You see a link to my merch. Go and buy it. Anyways, welcome to Storytime, all right? This is your first time. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. So this is the segment, Storytime, where people bang me their emails to my email address, foodchannel1960 @gmail.com. If you look in the description below, you can see my email address. Send me your stories, send me your topic ideas and stuff like that. And I will definitely keep you anonymous and I can talk about it if it resonates with me, if it's something we can, collectively, benefit from. T. Kelly, gotta hide that COVID money. May not get any more. Come on, man. T. Kelly, throw that COVID money in my direction. Come on, man. Throw me some of that COVID money. I'm joking, man. Thank you for stopping by. So, the story, this one caught my attention, all right? This one caught my attention. Right, before I crack on, people that keep saying, they don't get notification. There's so many complications with YouTube. It's crazy, man. I don't know why, people that are subscribed are not getting notifications. Unfortunately, I'm unable to control that, and I understand your frustration. But if you're subscribed to my channel, you're watching me right now, please click on that bell button and select all, okay? So when you select the all option, it allows you to get notified when I'm on a live stream or when I upload pre-recorded content. Does that make sense? So even if you're busy, you're at work, you're doing whatever personal stuff, you can always, at least you are informed, you know that Franklin's got, something going on. You can always go back to watch it at your convenience, if that makes sense, okay? But I appreciate you being here. Give us a thumb up, 116 people. So these, brother, banged me an email a couple of days ago. He's the brother is 44-year-old this year. Okay, there's an element of that story that actually really, struck me deep down inside. I felt so angry, sort of emotional roller coaster. So the long and short, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do this one for today's story time. So he's a 44-year-old geezer, gentleman. He's married. He had 3 children, but he currently has 2. Now, he said to me about 13 years ago, he traveled to Europe. But in the interest of his identity and all that stuff, Um, I am not going to tell you what part of Europe, because he did say I should conceal that part. But he traveled to what do you call it? To Europe about 13 years ago. So himself and the wife, the classic immigrant story. He was in Europe, then faced reality, blah blah blah. He had issues with, immigration, and he's been in the roller coaster of the whole immigration palaver for quite some time. And then he's been in the system, working and toiling and trying to, survive and stay afloat as you do. So they notice I keep saying he had three children, but at the time of filming this, he has two. So he explained in the email that just not too long ago, some 5 odd years ago, or less than five, his second born child developed some health related complications, and for those reasons, the whole thing basically got worse. The body wasn't accepting medical treatment anymore. So I don't want to go into the tiny details of what happened to the child, but unfortunately, it led to the untimely death of the child, which caused a major devastation in his family, particularly for himself and his wife. You know, don't wish on anyone to lose their child or their children. It's life shattering. So he said it was a little girl. She was 6 year old. She developed something along the lines of, bone cancer or something like that. So, which unfortunately claimed her life. Now, why am I saying this? Prior to the child developing, the health problems, this brother, like the classic case of most immigrants, has been supporting family back home, mom and dad. He said he had three jobs, wife had two. It was very rough for them. They were doing what they can to survive, and they would send money home every month, or sometimes, bi-monthly, to support their family, right? And then over time, he was banging out money because the immigration problems they had in Europe came with a degree of complexity. So he said he sat down with his wife at some point and said, "Look, just in case this thing doesn't work out for us, we they back us into a corner. Let's have let's get things done in Africa, just in case we get thrown out, because that's a harsh reality, by the way. Not everyone who is looking for papers abroad end up being successful. A high number of people get their papers, but the fact is, there is a high number of people that also will live donkey years abroad, and they will just, based on whatever background to their stories, they wouldn't get lucky to be able to regularize their status. It happens. It happens. So so this brother said, whilst all of that was going on, he was sending money home to support his, mom and dad. He's got two older siblings and then two younger siblings, right? He would do his best. His wife was doing her bit as well on her side of the family. And then over the years, he then put money together, and because he agreed with his wife, he would send money to his mom and dad. Said, "Look, myself and wife want to start building and all that." So now pay attention. This brother and his wife in Europe agreed to start building and investing back home, just in case the immigration stuff totally goes sharp left, and they can have something to fall back upon. I think any sensible person would agree with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a very clever thing to do. So the wife also basically joined her resources with this brother, as you would, with your partner. And they were shelling money back home to his own side of the family, his parents, to manage projects. And he said to me, he said, "Phrankleen, before you say, I did my best, because, the problem was, their major vulnerability was the fact that they couldn't travel, right?" And he said, "I'll be on the phone 24/7, WhatsApp. I made effective use of WhatsApp. They would send me images and video clips. I saw builders, building, mixing the cement. I was seeing block delivery of blocks, building materials, so to speak, right? So you would be convinced that, oh, I can see the projects, progressing. He said even when the land was bought, he paid for what do you call it now? All the necessary paperworks, the CFO, the survey, and everything. That he demanded that they DHL copies of his document to him in Europe. And he said the documents landed, opened them, everything looked all right and stuff. Said his father basically spoke to him on the phone, they've done this, they've done that. He kept it in his wardrobe. And then they put money together, himself and the wife were working. Bear in mind, when they started the project, they got 3 children. You can imagine how they're living abroad. So they were shelling money, And he said, my brother, he actually sent me a few images and a couple of video clips, right? And then he said he was seeing his building projects and stuff. In fact, what is staggering about this story was this guy and his wife, according to this email, should be in possession and ownership of 2 buildings because they managed to send money for 2 properties, right? So they sent money, and he said the first one was a 4 flat. Okay, so he said it got to a point where he got another type of a recycling or something kind of job that was giving him more money. They were shelling money, and then he started another project for another bungalow, right? And he said his own parents, mom and dad, they live in the house that his dad had built back in, was the 80s or whatever. So basically they've got their own bungalow that they live in back in Africa. He would give them money, and dad would take money and all that. And you can imagine, this is someone that's unable to travel because why? They had immigration palaver. They are trapped. So that's the ultimate vulnerability. That thing is hanging on their forehead. And the people back home, they know this. It's like a chess game. They can see. So the long and short was, as everything progressed, I talked about they lost one of their children. The second born developed health problems, and after several medical appointments, it was uncovered that the poor child had bone cancer problem and stuff, which the child repelled, the body repelled, what do you call it now, medical treatment, which led to the untimely death of the child. So that everything came crashing down for them, just life shattering. Of course, even reading it, I became very emotional. Now, whilst they were still not, nursing the feeling, the loss of a child, very devastating for them. He said along the line, they got their papers, right? The papers landed. And after getting their papers, it had got to about 13 plus years of them living abroad. So this brother then decided to, he said even at the time when they lost their child, his parents, you could see all the emotional drama. You would say these are grandparents who are genuinely being the objective word, devastated. Everybody was in tears back home. The drama was so believable that he had to be calming them down, like, Mom, Dad, take it easy, his siblings and blah, blah, blah. And, like the dad was in a bad place. So the brother told his wife, okay, let me just go back home and let me just show up and see the family back home now that we got papers, right? He said his plan was he would go home first, show up, and then come back to Europe, and then prepare for a grand travel with his wife and the two other kids. So he got home, and then, of course, bear in mind, they were not expecting him. Nobody knew that he's already got his papers sorted. Nobody knew that he was going to show up unannounced. Unannounced. So the long and short was showing up, um, basically opened an unbelievable can of worms, right? And he soon realized from the land, because he said when he went home, he took the land documents and everything that the dad sent to him. He put them in his luggage. He took them back home. So I mean, it's just normal, right? From the land, it turned out the land was not even bought. And then it got there. So the images and everything. So when everything came out into open, I realized that the parents were actually have been funneling all of his money to amongst his siblings. All right. There is about 300 people watching us right now, man. Give us the like button. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. All right. Somebody said the build-up of this story is giving me palpitations. I do apologize. Okay. I'm trying my best here. So he got home, and then he realized that the whole palaver, it was just a mountain of mess. And now I'm going somewhere with this. This is why I'm going to have a separate live stream where we are going to talk, and I'm going to allow people to dial in. I want to talk about Africans and sentiments. Sentiments and Africans. So the whole thing, kind of worms was exposed. The land was fake. The land documents that the dad sent to him, everything was fake. No, I'm not even saying the land was fake. They didn't even buy the bloody land to start with. So all the projects, the images, the videos that he was getting via WhatsApp and all this blah, 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 all of these were from someone else's projects. The guy told me, he said, Phrankleen, after I became very angry, enraged, and very rightly so. He told me, he said, I suffered stroke back in Africa. He suffered a mini stroke. And he said the doctor that treated him, sat him down and said, dude, take it easy, blah, 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 blah. He even said that when he ended up in the hospital and stuff, it was some of his cousins that actually came to check up on him. His siblings all ran away. Everyone took cover, and nobody came to check him up when he suffered stroke. I think the stroke came from the build-up of the anger, the blood boiling. I can imagine, when the rage is heightened, and I don't know if he had any underlying health issues or whatever. I don't know that, but he said he suffered a stroke, and he was treated in the hospital, and the doctor was a female doctor, sat him down and said, man, it's unfortunate and this, you have to take it very careful from this point in going forward, because you might end up having a much more severe stroke, which will more than likely paralyze you or even obliterate you. So the guy said, man, people try to, apply, what do you call it? Bias. Now, this is where I'm going about Africa and bias. And he said some of the uncles and families and stuff, they sat down and then they said, oh yeah, they acknowledged. He said that that's not the case. Forgive me, I forgot something. I told you this guy has 4 siblings, 2 older siblings and 2 last borns. This is very interesting. God, Phrankleen, this is very important. Do you know what's funny? Whilst this guy was sending money and all this was going on, before he went home to find out, yeah? The last born that he would always give money to support because the guy had finished university. This dude sent him to uni, right? And he had no job. He was trying to help him set up a business and all that. Yeah. The parents had used his money to send the last born abroad. I'm not going to tell you which country. But you know, when we use WhatsApp, if I change my number and I don't update you that I've changed my number, you are still able to communicate with me, whereby you on your end will still be seeing my old number. Do you get what I'm saying? So whilst this guy was back home fighting and doing all that stuff, he found out from one of his cousins that, oh, your younger brother has traveled to so and so country. It's been nine months, and it's like he traveled out. And the younger brother would normally chat to him on WhatsApp. They talk on the phone, via internet calls. And this guy still sends him money monthly. And he didn't even let his older brother know that he has traveled abroad. Man, I cannot make this up, man. These are the stories. These are the true sufferings of some people. Let me say something. Sometimes some of these stories are shocking, and I can understand. Some people watch and they're scratching their head. They're thinking, is this possible? Trust me, man. The world that we live in is basically, man, it's filled with unbelievable layers of complexity. The human mind is just unbelievable as far as I'm personally concerned. So he found out that they had sent his younger brother abroad whilst the guy was still getting allowances from him. Now, he was saying, Phrankleen, I sat with some friends who advised me to take a severe action against my parents. That particularly his dad is at the forefront of the criminality, right? The misuse of his funds and all that stuff. And some uncles and some family members were saying to him, asking him to let go. And this is where I'm going. This is actually where my personal anger kicks in. He said, oh, they sat him down and they were trying to pacify him, and they were trying to say, they're sorry that this has happened. He said, yeah, but it's unheard of that, it doesn't speak well that you would jail your own parents. So they're telling him, and I'm sure most of you people watching this can relate to this. It's a curse, and you will be putting a curse on yourself if you jail your mom and dad. If you take legal action against them, the curse will be on you and your children. Me, Boyuba. Me, I will be like a three-headed dragon. Fam, I will tear that family to shreds. She ain't Shirini. Are you? Oh my God. I'm telling you, man. So he was saying to me that one of his uncles basically was saying, you can't, you've got to let it go. Africans watching this can relate to what I'm saying. You can't, it's unheard of. You can't, they're telling him not to get the police involved. But he said he spoke to some people who are not family members, and they said he should take action against his father at the very least. That he's supposed, because imagine, now he told me, this is the worst part, yeah? This has left a major crack in his marriage because his wife has lost thousands of euros in the process. Remember that the wife was also heavily invested in the project. She amalgamated her finances with that of her husband so they can build together, right? The wife has also lost a lot of money. Now, it's worsened because, of course, in the process of getting angry and stuff, the wife's family found out. And her own parents and family side are not taking this lying down. I mean, come on, man. This is why I'm sick and tired. It drives me nuts of how, I don't know, man. Can it that be a Africans, man? You know these, oh, you can't let it go. How can you say that? Let it go. So he said he has basically changed his phone number. He's blocked quite a lot of people, and an old friend, a childhood friend, sorry, has linked him up with like top lawyers, like top, lawyers who, he said there's a woman who's actually has a track record for human rights and abuse matters and all that. M&M motives. Thank you. What a sad revelation. Family will finish you. Be careful, right? So he said there is 437 people online. Come on, man. Give me more likes. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. So he said that the woman, the lawyer, is looking into the matter, and she even wants to take it on pro bono. She's very, very interested in the case, but she's waiting for him to give a go ahead. Now, I'm thoroughly aware that a bunch of people watching this are black folks. Let's call it spade a spade. Let's be honest. What would you do? Some of you watching, just close your eyes for a split second. If you were a victim of this circumstance, right? Do you have the balls of steel to take appropriate actions against your parents? The evidences are staggering, right? What would you do? What would you do? Will you be able? Somebody said I would start over, smart and not there here or something. He's saying no need to close eye, just go to court and get justice. Some said nothing. I would let them get arrested. Well, somebody said nothing. I would take serious action. I just can't imagine what would happen. I would sue faster than you can flush a toilet. Captain Saz, man. What would you do? Because I genuinely would like to hear. I wish I could let people call in today. Towards the weekend, I'm going to have a live stream session with you people where I'm going to talk about Africa and sentiments. It's a stage 4 cancer that's debilitating our society. A lot of people can talk the talk, though. Do you have the balls of steel to take action against members of your family who are that heartless? Can you do it? Can you bang them up in prison? I'm currently in court taking action against my mother and siblings. Something similar. Sanira, wow. Thank you. Go get justice, man. I've heard, and of course, Gabriel says, stop doing business with family, man. Look, man, they're the worst. Anyone that can be that heartless is not family. The guy actually said to me in the email, said, Phrankleen, I'm too embarrassed to even give you a final breakdown of how much I've lost till date. So where the brother is right now is his marriage is sort of taking a nosedive because bear in mind, not too long ago, himself and the wife, they lost a child and they were barely recovering. You can't even recover from losing a child, but kind of bit by bit, still struggling, trying to move on with the rest of their lives and cater for the 2 remaining children. And then a devastating financial loss and emotional shattering treatment from her in-laws, who have basically been fleecing them of thousands of euros for so long. So the wife is saying to him now that she wants all of her money, or she's going to call off the marriage. That's where they are right now. He said it's been devastating, and he feels like it will be unfair to beg his wife and say, oh, please, let's forget about it, because then it looks like bias that, oh, you're saying that because it's your parent. He has equally lost money. The wife wants her money back. She wants justice. So what are you going to do? Oh, no, no, no. Mind over matter. I don't blame the wife, but it's not his fault. Of course, come on. We know it's not the brother's fault. He's also a victim of the circumstance. But we're looking internally in the marriage now. The wife has gone bananas. She wants her money back, because she's told him that if you do nothing about it, I am going to sidestep you and take action against your parents. So what do you do? Prison won't do much good. He should go to mediation. Let the family accept it as debt with interest, especially the younger brother abroad. If they don't service the debt in 2 years, he sues. I like Nuruddin Olatunji. I like your thought process, my brother. Do you know what's funny? This guy said to me that the worst part of it is, he said his mom, his mother is an accomplice. Clearly, she's involved. But the guy at the forefront of this frauds is his father, right? And he said, can you do Phrankleen, can you do a fundraiser through your channel for us to donate to help the family? Let me respond to that, right? I've told you guys some stories, okay? And some very nice, kind-hearted people have emailed me and have always asked me, Phrankleen, please do fundraiser. Let's, like the guy with the immigration problem where he was being used as a nanny and all that stuff, that people want to raise money for them. I'll be very honest with you, right? When it comes to public funds, I'm always very, very careful, okay? I've got a big heart. At some point in the near future, I'm going to set up a charity and do philanthropy work, particularly in Africa, okay, in my motherland, okay, and help people use my voice, use my platform. But I'm very, very careful, okay, because we've got to be very careful. The moment I come to people and say, oh, hi, guys, can you help me with donations so we can help Mr. X and Mrs. B, you know, that's public funds. That's my neck on the line. That's my name on the line. I'm then answerable. I don't know who is watching. So you've got to be very careful. Do you get what I'm saying? So I want to help, but I've got to then, because it goes beyond me just telling stories at that point. I've got to then be able to speak to hopefully the parties involved and check some facts and look at some evidences, because it doesn't even matter if you give £1 or €1 or €1. It's your money, it's public funds. And I don't want any stories whereby you wake up tomorrow morning, the internet is plastered with some really dodgy stories. YouTuber is using his platform to hey. You get what I'm saying? But having said that, it's not impossible. Where I would need you guys to help at some point, I would make sure that I have a truckload of verifiable evidences that I will throw into the public domain, and any curious person can go and do their checks. I'm able to answer your question. So if you want to part with your little $5 or 10 or 20 or 30, whatever, then you can do that with an open mind. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm unable to get involved in that thing right now. But thank you, though, for having a big mind, a big heart to want to help. So what would you do, fam? What would you do, man? What would you do? What would you do? It's a bit of a complex one, man. It's a very, very complex one. You know, there is a part of your brain whereby, and it's understandable. Can you jail your mom and dad? Do you want to take legal action against them? But when people are backed into a corner, when your finances have been absolutely shattered. You've been taken advantage of, and they've done so much evil. Sometimes you are left with no choice but to take action against them. So, and imagine it's not just that, it's now left a major crack in his marriage. And for me, let me tell you something, man. I think those that have been watching Phrankleen for a while would know this. I don't do sentiment. I'm a reasonable man. But if my family gets so bad that they fleece me of money, their decisions have in turn left a crack in my marriage whereby it's devastated my wife, and then my wife is giving me ultimatum that get me my money, Phrankleen, give me this, give me that, or I'm gonna have to sidestep you, or we call off this marriage. You should know that that's reached some kind of a different level. So do you then protect, put your hat on as a man, because you have to do the right thing? What do you then do? Well, ask your wife to forget about it. But I like what Nuruddin said earlier. Apply mediation. It takes two to tango, though. This guy is saying to me that his dad is still talking nonsense, disseminating arrogance. And it's this idea, this African parents. What are you going to do? Shift from me. What are you going to do about it? You see what I'm saying? I like the idea of mediation, but I can assure you that mediation is not going to work, man. In this kind of situation, you need to boot the door off the hinges. You need a rock solid action against them. All these are premeditated actions. People that can falsify, generate fraudulent instruments, falsify documentations in a desperate bid to mislead you and fleece you repeatedly of your hard-earned money. They're capable of anything worse. And just imagine, just look at the way the brother suffered a mini stroke. Imagine if that had gone a lot worse. He could have died, right? Mediation bow, they'll just arrange for you. Of course, he actually said that some reasonable friends, a friend of his who's back in Europe, was shouting on the phone, get out from there. As soon as he came out of hospital, he said, remove you, even if you're still back home, remove yourself away from where they can locate you. They can do you in. They can get rid of you. Because one thing that I found out is when people like that, they realize that they've been exposed and they're very desperate to cover their tracks. They can go from 0 to 100 and they can just completely obliterate you, and that's game over. Gina said mediation wouldn't work. Taking them to jail won't bring the money and time out because they'll kill him. What would I do? I have an idea. One of the very smart way to take care of people like that is you need to get people on ground. Like, you've got a very good lawyer who is interested, yeah? You've got to desperately find a way to do a forensic trace on their bank accounts, right? On their assets. Get the lawyers. This is what I thought of, right? Get the lawyers to expedite applications to the court and freeze their assets, like immediately. So your father has done that to you. You said your father has built, he lives in his house that he built from the 80s. Those houses usually have very good value. Get a lawyer to expedite an application to the court of law and put a freezing order on that property. Boom! They freeze it so he cannot do transfer of ownership. He cannot sell the property whilst that litigation is going on. What do you mean, on what basis? Nini, are you with us here? On what basis? On the basis, look at you, man. You're saying no contract. There is a truckload of evidences. Don't get it twisted. If somebody is telling you If you have sent me money, I'm sending you messages on WhatsApp. I'm updating you, and I'm going to somebody else's site to take images of ongoing projects that don't belong to you, just so that I can fraudulently mislead you, right? So I can mislead you. Those WhatsApp messages and emails and text messages and bank transfers and stuff, those are footprints. Those are admissible evidences in the court of law, if you don't understand. Like somebody said, you know, to Jaguda James, you go and get a lawyer, man. You've got to be smart. The all the false paperwork and stuff, thank you, is fraud. You get, you know, lawyers who put a freezing order on their assets. I don't know how much money you've lost in the process, buying the land and building the 2 properties, right? And then they've done that. Freeze their assets. He even said his dad owns 2 properties. Lobaton, Phrankleen, you need to bring a lawyer to talk to your subscribers. People, that's a good idea, KG. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to. If I see a good lawyer who is willing to come on the platform, I would love to. We need to be educated, man. We need a good lawyer. Do you know how to sell a house in Nigeria? Of course I do. Send me an email, man. Phrankleen, the truth of the matter is the guy should go back and build his marriage and start again. My G. I have a marriage because he has a marriage to protect. Chinelo, I'm a lawyer, but a media lawyer. Okay. If you have a way that you can educate us, and you know, yeah, you can come on the platform. And if you don't want to show your face because of your profession, which I understand, because of social media and stuff, we can always use live stream whereby people can hear you talk. You don't have to show your face. All right, that's another option. Because I know because of the profession, some people don't like to put their face online and stuff, which is understandable. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. These financial loss, these people may never be able to recover, you know. And I'm particularly worried about his marriage, and it's unfair. The wife, they both lost a child. It's evil, man. Imagine the same people that robbed them were crying and pretending when they lost a child, as if they cared so much. Among the first family in life, Adam and Eve, and the deceit started. So let's be careful. Just leave them and learn the lesson. Somebody saying leave them. Look at Kobe Bryant. What? They wouldn't recover for how many years, man? You see, let me tell you, man. Let me tell you. Me, I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm not gonna let go. Something of that magnitude. If you're talking of they scammed you of 500K, you know, that kind of a thing, you're probably bad. Frankly, come on, man, bro. You know what? Keep it moving, bro. Let it go. Learn your lessons and move on. You're talking multi-millions. Never. Makusi Benny. Like, I'm like a dog with a bone. Never. Me, personally, I'm not going to let it slide. No flipping way. See, I like the fact that the man even has 2 assets frozen. Somebody's told me something. Look at this one. He's talking about jazz and call. Guy, forget jazz, man. That, they might go via diabolical means, and that's one of the fear factors that people use. And they might go to a herbalist. Only Lord the babalawo jazz. He mean go jazz. He mean Nero. He mean go jazz. Jazz Franco Nero. Jazz Lori Lagumi. The 4 corners of the universe will fight for you, man. Don't acquiesce to those nonsense. Don't do that, man. That's how they instill fear and they control people's minds. Jazz. This is why I was saying there's no point. Don't go into their jurisdiction and start getting physical and start fighting. They will do something to you. I agree. Go to your drawing board and come up with a concept on how to take them out. When I say take them out, I don't mean shoot someone or anything like that. Don't shoot any. You're talking of tens of millions. Bro, do you know what life abroad is saying? It's not a joke, fam. It's not easy, man. Somebody's going to say to you, oh, let it go. Forget it. What? Forget what? Fam. Jazzman Franconero. I like that, man. Ah, nah, blood. Here's another thing that somebody said. What if the person doesn't have an asset like his dad or his siblings or whatever, right? That's another point. It depends on who the lawyers are. You see, these people, yeah? It's very possible, like if you have a legal expert that, the ones with the local knowledge, fam, if you move in a strategic manner, you expedite court applications and stuff, bruv. They can go do forensic trace into their bank accounts, get authorities involved. They can freeze bank accounts, man. So you go into somebody's bank account. They go into their bank account now. You are currently being accused of stealing from someone. Somebody said, no assets, no problem. Straight to jail. She look crazy. This guy, you're killing me, man. No, no assets, no problem. Straight to jail. Oh, you ain't got no asset, no problems. There's a first class ticket to jail. What? Yeah. There was actually someone that sent me kind of like a similar email before the lockdown that said he's the firstborn of their parents, who's a female, his older sister, fleeced him of about 8.7 million naira. Okay, so he doesn't know if she has assets or anything. He said he got involved with a particular lawyer. This happened in Lagos, and the lawyer, was able to make some quick moves. Guess what? When they filed documents on the so-called sister, she was very animated, very angry. She was bragging about, you can't do this, you can't do that. Boom, they put a freeze on her bank account. You know what the guy said to me? At the time that they froze the woman's bank account, she had over 66 million naira. How about that? How about that? She had about 66 million combined in two separate bank accounts. So if you are owing somebody about 8 point something, 9 million naira, roughly 10 million naira, and you are sitting on 66 million naira. So I think it's dead easy. The problem solved. I don't care about the 60 something million naira. Just give me my own money and let me go. And trust me, the authorities in Nigeria, they are crazy. If they see 66 million naira in your bank account, oh, they're going to solve that problem, but they want to eat as well. You know what I mean? So they, knowing that you've already done something fraudulent, they're going to start asking you questions that, how did you get 66 million naira? Knowing fully well that you are already an unscrupulous person, so the likelihood of you being able to effectively account for that money is... So they will more than likely dip their hands inside and ask you for about 30 of that money. So there you go. They will get their own court, Nigeria. Yeah. In terms of getting justice, that you just want to do it via the regular means. Forget it, man. You can't do it via the regular means, man. If you know people who are solid, who know their stuff, that's the strategic move. If you can't do that, forget it, man. If you just want to get some basic lawyer on the roadside, you're trying to take action, blood, you can't. You're not going to get anywhere, man. They will adjourn the case until 2023. Then when you come back, they'll look at another file and adjourn it until 2025. You will be tired, man. The guy needs to trace his father's account. Believe that, man. There are people that can do that. They will freeze the account. Boom! Freeze. Put a freeze on Get the EFCC involved, man. Put a freeze on his property. You will claw back your money. For starters, he should definitely remove himself where his family can reach him. People like that are capable of anything. This is not family you're talking about. They'll take him out, of course. They'll take him out. That's what I'm saying. Sammy, they were Johnny for 600 years. They'll tell you the case has been adjourned for 600 years. The judge is not happy about your bundle. Another adjournment for 500 years. You just be like, woo, phew, phew. Believe that, man. So it depends on who is handling the case, who is involved, who is, of course. You hear that the file has been burnt and all that. So yeah, that's basically the story. So brother, do the needful if you're watching this, because it's important that you save your marriage. And I align with his wife, because if it's me too, I want my money. This is not a case of forget it, let it go. Let it go wouldn't work, man. We come from, a lot of us come from a lineage where these nonsense has been instilled in us, where people, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday in a barber shop, and this man was basically trying to pacify me. He was telling me how, regardless of the level of criminality of a parent, somebody was talking about how a guy, watch this, a guy went to Africa on holiday. His father was caught with his hand getting funny with his granddaughter. Let me put it that way. I'll let you fill the blanks. And the whole barber shop erupted. And this man was trying to say to me, I know what the man did was bad, but he shouldn't have jailed his father. I lost energy because I was arguing. I nearly broke my voice box. I was arguing. I was screaming on the top of my... It's unbelievable where people were trying to defend the indefensible in the name of bias and sentiment. This man was actually telling me that, oh, it's a curse regardless of what your parents do. Imagine, in that regard, your father was caught meddling with his own granddaughter, a little girl who is vulnerable, and you are saying, regardless, you should not and you cannot jail them because it's a curse. These are the nonsense that they pass down generation after generation. And you can imagine, of course, there were very, very honorable people in that barbershop, including myself, who lost their cool, and people were raging that how dare you. And there were some other persons, I would just make sure my daughter does not see my father again. I'll just leave him alone and move on. Are you mad? Move on, bow. A lot of people just be making up stupid rules. Let me read this. In the name of tradition. Thank you, my brother. Frank, the most problems we have in diaspora is our parents. Of course, my brother. Biggest dude on the street would have had all my COVID money to stomp a hole in granddad. Nonsense. I left to take a phone call for 5 minutes and you moved. If let me read this. If they don't kill them first, the police better take them. Do you know, and I know people are watching this, do you know the amount of foolishness, the amount of atrocities that are being suppressed on a daily basis in the black community in the name of sentiments? Of course. You know what I'm talking about. I cannot make this up because I'm not. I don't have the ability to make it up. People know what I'm saying. Look at this brother's story. The story I've just said to you today. He said a truckload of people within his family tree are telling him, let it go. It's unheard of that you jail your parents. It's unheard of. Who made these rules? You see what I'm saying? Abuse is normalized in a home, all for the sake of they are your parents. Does it mean we should continue the abuse? Thank you, Victoria Acombs. Thank you. I appreciate that comment. In the name of religion and tradition, just because they are your parents, you must continue to be abused. Never! Let the crap happen where I come from. All my neighbors will help me to seek justice with their cutlasses. I love mind over matter, man. I just love your vibe, man. It's also unheard of for parents to steal and abuse you and your children. Chinelo, let me say something. I appreciate your feeling, but the use of the word it's unheard of. Let me tell you, these things happen more than you know or think. Trust me. They happen 24/7. There's nothing about it's unheard of. A lot of these atrocities are swept under the carpet. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of the atrocities are swept under the carpet. That's why hold on, who is this person? Let me see. Phrankleen, you must be talking about continental diaspora. Can't be Western born. How do you mean? And then the so-called parents start a smear campaign against you when you stand up against emotional abuse. Absolutely. That's what they do. They will get out of their way to blackmail you, emotional blackmail, and it's always deeply rooted in sentiment. Yes, I acknowledge and agree with you, Phrankleen. That's why we have to take action. What the heck is continental diaspora? Is that something new? Continental diaspora sounds like a special dish. Explain to me, Should never be normalized. Yeah, I've spoken to people through my platform, offline. If you hear some people's stories and the palaver, so many things are being suppressed in the black community with the application of bias and sentiment. Just the fact that you're going to a continental diaspora, is that a breakfast? Yeah, narcissistic abuse is a huge one. Of course, Adiola, you're absolutely right. There are 600 people online. Hit the like button. Come on, man. Show your love to your boy, man. Come on, man. Give us the thumb button. Hit the like button. When parents rely on their children at their old age, that's what happened. Yeah, I've said that before, man. I would chip this in again. It's a major problem when a lot of these parents, they have failed in their finances, whatever happened in their younger years and whatever, right? And then they just, you grow old and then they want to put pressure on you. They don't want to listen to you. The sense of entitlement. And I've always said it, I put a disclaimer again. Nobody's saying don't do what you can. But it's important that you put yourself first, especially when you're married, you got kids, you got your own responsibilities, man. Don't allow sentiments to take over. Somebody's saying, Phrankleen, can we dial in? I promise you a live stream this weekend, okay? Please hit the bell button and select all, okay? We're going to have a live stream. I want us to talk about bias within the black community. It's very, very important. Parents should have their own money. Children were not made for you to buy. This is what I'm talking about, the sentiments. It's a major problem. Look at somebody who's lived abroad for 13 years. Your parents have robbed you blind. They've crippled you financially. They've not only stolen from you, they've stolen from your wife as well. They've debilitated your marriage. And people are yet saying to you, it's unheard of that you take action against your parents. I want to know who made these rules. And the thing that angers me is when people like me, when we challenge this evilness, they tell us that we are westernized. They'll say you're West man. Let me read this. Franklin, I'm talking about African born in Africa. Okay, because I've never known child molestation to be covered up by black born British. We don't have that respect for nobody, especially from their fathers. Well, I get what you mean. Maybe for the ones born in this country, born overseas, the mentality is different in that regard. I see what you mean, but also it's prevalent. Yeah, the ones that are born in Africa, I think are quite notorious for the cover up. Man, it's happening every day, man. Somebody's saying it's a sad story, but there is really nothing you can do to the parents in Nigeria. If you decide to jail them, I can assure you the police will release them once the parents bribe them. Ezra, how you approach it strategically matters. All right. For example, we're just using Nigeria as an example. It's a common knowledge. Okay. The system is rotten in some regard. Okay. If you approach it strategically, it depends on who you are aligning with. If you you move. This is what I said earlier. This is not a case of you getting a random, some basic junior lawyer somewhere in some chamber. If you move strategically, you can get their assets frozen, man. You force the money out of them. You know what? If you have two properties, I'll put my foot down to collect one and sell it and recover my money. No, it's not just about arrest them, jail them. Nah, I agree, man. They'll go behind. Go behind closed doors, and they'll pay their way out if you charge and bill lawyers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, somebody's saying you need big gun lawyers. Yeah, proper lawyers. Are you joking? My dame or gidi my gbowe. These mindsets on abuse don't need visa. They still come with the people and get passed down. I once considered suing my own mom for emotional damages. Dear man, you have to be level-headed about it. It's stealth and wisdom that need to achieve proper solution. Nigeria is a lawless society, Franklin. You can get killed and the killer will still get away with it, bro. Look, listen, brother. Did you hear the use of the word being strategic? I can't say everything on the live stream. Nigeria is not the only country in Africa. It happens across Africa, okay? I know what you're saying, my brother. If I'm a victim of circumstance, you think I'm going to be animated standing in front of them? Oh, look, I'm coming back to you at 7 o'clock tonight. I'm going to come and do this and this to you. Nye, nye, nye. Of course, they will take you out, my brother. You have to be strategic. We understand the lawlessness, but don't let the lawlessness blind you that even in the midst of the lawlessness that you can't get justice. You move strategically. Believe that, man. Of course, you don't tell them anybody the moves you are making. There was a lady that told me that her mom sold her 3 acres of land. And the mom was telling her, she was calling from Africa, from Ghana to the UK and telling her you can't do anything. Nye, 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 nye. Nye, 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 nye. The telephone conversation, everything was well documented. Those are evidences, right? The mom was saying all sorts. She was running her mouth like a tap. You can't do anything. I gave birth to you. And if you go beyond your blah, 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 I will take you out. I will, yeah, yeah, yeah. Our siblings were in the background chiming in. Okay. The lady went to her drawing board. They closed in on the mom. Are you joking? Her sibling. Alaye, ọlọ́pàá wa kọ́ mú ẹ láti Ìbàdàn lọ́nà tí ẹ mọ́nú ilẹ̀ nínú Maiduguri tán ní rí ẹ fóṣù mẹ́fà. Are you joking, blood? You're not going to go to some random, you go back to your drawing board with your rage and you plan. They won't see you coming. They won't see you coming. Believe that, man. They won't see you coming, brother. It's, I was saying, the reason I'm saying this passionately, lives have been destroyed based on sentiments, the evilness of family members, and you may never be able to recover. People take bank loans abroad and put it in the hands of unscrupulous persons back home, and they destroy you, and you're trapped in debt in the West for years to come. You can't recover. You are suffering. You're neck deep in poverty, and you're telling me let it slide. I used to think I'm crazy when I share this mentality and stuff. Hey, Corey, thank you. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate you. Yes, I have lots of friends. Their parents sold their lands and properties, and I have an aunt currently trying to sell our family home in Oji. Well, we have good lawyers on the case. There you go, Chinelo. Yako mo, yaki no dun la there, man. Yeah, ulon tale abi. Tiema tani. You get me? Lon tale abi. I die ya loro, you're crazy. I don't even mind them back home. They say I'm antisocial and don't love them, but apart from asking for money, I don't get anything from them. Hit the like button. So that's the story, man. Hopefully at least one person learns from this. The loss of a child and his family, betrayal, endless pain. Thank you, Bob. And this will most likely fracture his marriage. It's actually fractured the marriage. If he doesn't fight for his money, he will lose everything he has left. Divorce is brutal. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, man. Imagine, I feel sorry. I don't know who this man's wife is, but I feel sorry. Nobody deserves to be. Okay, we are the same. I'm the same guy that talks about make content on my channel. If a woman is not amalgamating her finances with her husbands or a partner or vice versa, will say, oh, you're not doing well, join hands, invest together, build together, right? A woman trusts her husband enough to say, let's build houses, let's invest, let's do things together. Husband's family completely obliterate the woman's hard-earned money, and then you want to apply sentiment and ask her to let it slide. Slide, Losinubu. Come on, man. He needs to fight for that money. We talk about a unit, but we tear each other down, man. Exactly. She has supported him. I mean, I keep emphasizing, and I'm sure people know, it's not the brother's fault because he's also a victim of circumstance. But the moment we are applying sentiments, it's unfair, man. I'm telling you, it's unheard of. This is what I'm curious. If there are older people watching me, please, I'm gonna have a session this weekend where people can dial in, right? I want people to come and talk constructively. I don't want any nonsensical talk. Who made these rules? I understand parents. Don't forget, before the labeling as parents, they are first of all humans. They're humans. They've got blood running in their body just like you. Yes, they are the passage that you came through into human existence. Does that give them the right to orchestrate criminality against you? Does that give them the right to carry out financial misappropriation against you? Does that? Are we sat here saying, oh, we should normalize these type of actions in the name of sentiments and bias? So what becomes of us as a race? We already have enough on our plates as black people, man. The parents and their parents and the ones before them. I was smeared by my family. Children should be born out of love and not as a retirement plan. I'm tired, man. It's our ancestors who embedded these baseless superstition into us generations after generations. Some African parents feel like they own you even when you are in your 40s married with children. Absolutely. It's a very narcissistic behavior. They want to control you. They want to control your husband. They want to control your wife. They want to control your children. They want to control the entirety of what's happening within the confines of your relationship. They want to know when you're going to bed with your wife. They want to know why you are buying that car. They want to finger snap and control your finances. They want to force their opinion down your lungs about everything and anything that happens within the confines of your marriage, in your personal life. Hell no. Stay over there, though. Stay over there. Hell no, man. That's why I always go in the direction. You're a man, for especially for us men, and I know why I'm saying this. My mom, my mom, my mom. You watch your mother trash talking to your wife, and you are there because she's my mom. Baby, you need to calm down. You want to fine tune your woman to learn to accept your mother's bull crap. You must be crazy. This is why some women, they turn out vindictive when you subject them to cycle and cycle of abuse and violations from people like your mother, crazy mother-in-laws and members of your family. You allow them to come into the confines of relationship that violate your woman. Then the woman decides to grow horns and she shows you red hot pepper. And then you compress the details of what happened in the yesteryears, right? And then you start saying, oh, that woman is evil. And vice versa as well, right? Some of you women, my daddy said, my mommy and daddy said, my daddy said, my daddy said, you need to change my car. Your daddy, aburi popsi edi darwini, he ran out darwini. What's your dad got to do with your marriage? Why is your dad dictating to your man? Your dad should take his old, wrinkly, gray-haired balls and keep it within the confines of like marriage. You want, mommy? What's your dad doing over here, though? Why is your dad putting his snout, here? Why is he opinionated about your man? Don't say that, dear. You don't work it now. Yeah, my daddy, your daddy said, my daddy said, what's wrong with you? Okay, if that's the case, detach yourself from that marriage. Go to dad. This is what I'm saying. A guy once emailed me, right? He said, Phrankleen, and he's here in the UK. So he lost his job and dude is trying to get back. And he said his father-in-law will come, his wife will cook for her father, and the man will be like, Femi, oh, T, Richard, so how is the job hunting going? Femi, you're not man enough, You're not doing well. I mean, it's taking too long now, Femi. The man's eating in your house. He's trash talking whilst his daughter stands there. Daddy said, you're taking too long to get the next job. Wow. You get what I'm saying, man? Daddy said, Daddy said I've lost weight. He said if you don't get another job, I should say no to love making. Oh wow, really? So dad is keeping tabs on the number of times I smash your sugar walls now. Wow. That's interesting. That's fascinating. So daddy no money talking insane. Wow. Let's go to daddy then. Hey yo. Mommy, you see a man, a grown man. Your mom wants to control your wife. Your mom wants to put a clause in your... But because you are neck deep in sentiments, you look in the other direction. There's a part of your chicken brain that tells you that your mother is in the wrong. But because, whoa, who is that? Wow, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the super chat. That's $49. Wow. Salute, General. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Wow, that's something, man. Thank you. My mom said. I was there was a lady that emailed me. She said she watches my channel. Okay, she wants me to do a story so bad, but then she said her husband also watches my channel. So I said, no. That guy would know that his wife has emailed me. And the last thing I want is to exacerbate whatever situation you've got going on. Okay. So I couldn't. The story is so spicy. She said, ah, man, her mother-in-law said to her that because your husband is not get because your husband is not has been out of work for a bit and is struggling to get back on the work on in the job market whilst you are doing very well and stuff. Maybe I've told him to cut down on the love making until he gets a job, because I have a feeling that you might be using the love making sessions to improve yourself spiritually. What? So, what? Hey, yo, Bebe-in-law, man. Africans are crazy blood. I'm telling you, man. She said she told her husband, wait, said, yeah, mom said, spiritually, because I'm not doing well at the moment, you might be possibly, well, she's not saying you're a witch, but you might be possibly using our love-making sessions, especially Yorubas from Nigeria. Nigerians would understand what I'm saying, that you are using that to, how do I even say? And I'm very good with words, man. You're using that to elevate yourself spiritually. That's a mother-in-law. So the guy abstained from making love to his wife. They have 3 children. Do you see the mentality? Do you see bias? And not just that, that conversation has actually spread amongst family members. So just imagine your wife comes close to you, trying to make love to you, and then you say, no, 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 no. My mom said, just hear how that sounds. My mom said, thank you for the super chat, my is it Adiola? Thank you. My mom said I should abstain from sex. Do you see what I'm saying? Just imagine. And the woman is trying to fight her husband for sexual deprivation, and then the family will be saying, oh, she's using him spiritually. That's madness. And the only reason, the long and short, the whole framework behind all of that nonsense is because these evil mother-in-law wants to get rid of this woman so that she can have a full control of her son's finance. They are very selfish people. They don't care who they destroy, what they destroy in the process. It's all for selfish gain. It's as simple as that. They will make up lies. They will brainwash the idiot who is already spineless just so that they can sabotage most of these very evil, toxic family members. They don't like happy unions. Have you noticed? They don't like happy, loving unions. No, they will find a way to, if you let them. That's if you let them. That's why it's very important that the man and the woman are on the same page. You have to be on the same page. The moment there is a weak link, it's game over. Yeah, Adiola, because they are miserable themselves. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Why are things this way? Poor and very unclever mindset. And do you know what's even interesting? Do you know what's even interesting? Some of you are watching this, and some people will allude to, oh, the people that do this or be people with this type of mindset are probably illiterates. Let me stop you in your tracks. You will be shocked that some of the people that are trapped in this nonsensical mindset are in fact well read. Some of them might even be medical doctors by profession. Some of them are accountants. Some of them are lawyers. So don't, when you hear this, don't think, oh, maybe, oh, the people that behave like this they are maybe illiterate. No, no. Some of them have master's degree. Thank you. You will be shocked. Some of them will tell you, oh, I've lived in the UK for 22 years of my life. Some of them are medical consultants. Some of them are senior pharmacists. And it's absolutely staggering. So, of course, it leads me to say there is a difference between being academically read, you know, you're well qualified and having a mountain of academic qualifications, right? And at the same time, what runs concurrently with your qualifications is you are desperately suffering from judgmental poverty because you are myopic, because, and it stems from the upbringing and the background. So sometimes somebody might have a master's degree, but they have in the other parts of life, they're just absolutely ridiculous and mentally retrogressed. And in our society, when people like us, when you challenge them logically and mentally and you say, oh, no, 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 this is wrong, this is this. And then when they are older, they would come out with these, I'm older than you, and they try to slam dunk you and keep you quiet and use bias and try to oppress you. And when you don't back down, they label you as a black sheep. They tell you, they call you names, they say you are disrespectful, they say you are this, they say you are that, and the nonsense goes on. Does that make sense? Hey, yo, listen, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. Thank you for the super chat. If you want to support me via Cash App, for those that have Cash App, it's the # Phrankleen. Phrankleen, all right? There's a link to my PayPal in the description below. You can use my PayPal, all right? Trust me. On Saturday, I would try to come online on Saturday, live stream. I want people to dial in. On Saturday, we'll come online and do a session. So whereby you people can contribute and we can talk. I want to hear from people. Biases and Africans. Biases, right? I'll see between 3 and 4 p.m. UK time. Between 3 and 4 p.m. UK time on Saturday, okay? Between 3 and 4 p.m. on Saturday. So that's me done, ladies and gentlemen, with my rant, with my story. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button. There are 668 people online. I appreciate you, man. Hit the like button. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, it'll be 3 or 4 p.m. UK time, all right? Let's have a chat, man. Send me an email to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. If you have any questions, if you have any stories for me, and yeah, let's talk. Let's have these inconvenient conversations. This is how we are going to get better. Share my videos, man. Thank you for the super chat once again. You want to support me via Cash App? It's the # Phrankleen, as it's spelled on my channel. If you want to support via PayPal, my PayPal link is there. Send me your emails. If you have any questions, let me know. It's your boy, Phrankleen. Yeah, somebody said talk about how we can overcome them too. We will talk about them. Alma Soido. All right. Common sense sisters, man. Thank you for the support. Fikayo, everybody involved. DJ, if you want to do super chat, #, you know the #. Cash App now, the pound sign, and then Phrankleen. That's my Cash App. Cash App your brother, man. I've been saying this for years. Tell it like it is. To hell with this dysfunctional behaviors, all in the name of culture. What is culture? Who made up this culture? All right, let's talk about it, man. I'll catch you on Saturday on the next live stream. I don't know, on Friday. I might have a pre-recorded video uploaded, but I'll definitely catch you on Saturday. Saturday at 3 or 4 p.m. UK time. All right, hit the bell button, select all, so you can get updated as soon as I come online. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace and love, man. Thank you. Bye now.